What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTuberverse? I am here with Lady, and we're going to go over the knots to do with leopard geckos. Now, you can see how she's crawling around and everything, and how she's all to the ground. You want to keep them that way. First thing not to do, do not flip your geckos over. Do not sit them in chairs. Do not do anything like that when picking them up. Nice flat hands. Keep your fingers still. And you go under the belly and give them a lifts, which I will demonstrate with Lady right now, because she's in the spot where I can pick her up. Well, nope, she's actually going under hide. So that's what we do. We respect that. I cannot pick her up. So if they're in a position where you can't pick them up easily, even though your lizard looks calm and all that, and you might want to say hello, make sure that they're in a situation where you can pick them up. You don't want to bop them. You don't want to drop them. You don't want to flip them. You don't want to sit them weird. And any of that will cause spinal injury, and either front leg, back leg, or all legs will no longer work, and you will have a very unfortunate animal at that point. They can't really operate how they're supposed to. I think she sees a bug or something in there. She's acting like she's hunting. Oh, I see. There's a little mealworm right there she hasn't eaten yet. And she doesn't care about it. Okay, wonderful. Another fun trick about cleaning and stuff. Water, just water, no chemical if your lizard is still going to be, or your reptile is still going to be in the enclosure when wiping stuff down and cleaning them up. This is because they are very sensitive to chemicals and smells, so much so this is why you have to dechlorinate your water as well for them. So if you get your water from the sink or something, or you have a situation where you might have trace chlorines in your water, you do not want to have that in your wet lizard system, in your gecko system, in any system of any reptile. But leopard geckos do not do well with any kind of chlorine or contaminants or anything like that. There are, however, cleaning things that are chemicals that are used for reptile enclosures, but the instructions say to leave your reptile out of its enclosure for at least 2 hours in most cases. So I just use plain water when wiping stuff down. You can see I kind of, with the dirt and stuff and some of the leftover powder, cleared that away, and I'm going to go ahead and get that filled up for her as well. But that's another thing that you do not do for them. Do not clean with chemicals that are unsanctioned for reptiles. It can be very, very dangerous. Another thing I heard, and I've seen with leopard geckos, obviously there's shedding and there's stuff like that, but what you want to be careful of and look out for is how to get that shed off of them. What you do not blow onto the shed. Do not spray or mist the lizard. This is mostly because it can cause stress and tail droppage. If the tail drops with the leopard gecko, it will grow back. However, it'll just look weird, and in the time their tail is dropped, they are susceptible to infections and stuff, so you would have to give them a very sanitary environment for about a week or two until that wound heals. So, gotta be very careful not to scare them. Signs of them being scared are them wagging their tails really quick, swinging their tails around in a way like a cobra coming out. So like if it goes, woo, if their tail does that and they're flat against the ground, look out. They're not happy with you. They're also vocal. They will scream at the moment that they're at their extreme duress. And if they're screaming at you, put them down. Even if nothing happens to them physically, you can mentally scar animals still. So give them the respect they need as far as that goes. If you do have stuck shed on your lizard and you want to be calm and help that get off, you do a warm soak on shallow water. Make sure your lizard can stand in it without having to be standing straight. So you want to do water up to maybe their elbows. So this way if they lay down, they can still keep their head above water and so on. And in that, then you can easily kind of take a little towel or something, or even splash a little bit of water gently on them if they let you do that. Obviously, different types of personalities will act in different ways. Lady is very calm, very chill. I've had her for many years and worked with her. But even when she was younger, she would kind of start, complaining, not a full scream. But yeah, she would complain when I would do stuff with her, But she's gotten so much better. But yeah, let me wipe out the glass rail here, right here real quick and stuff. Dust off the top on here, put her powder together, and get into the other do not. And then there we go, looking a little better and everything. So another big do not with leopard geckos. With my enclosure, as you can see, I do have dirt. What you do not put them on is sand or any kind of like small rocks or anything they can swallow. They are always licking, always testing things, using their tongue as part of their sensory organs and stuff to get to know them and how to be around. They like to kind of get their smells delivered to their mind through this, like licking and stuff. So they see very good. They don't see like snakes do. They can see colors and stuff. But that little licking thing is part of them being able to smell. So because of that, sand and rocks, anything that can fit in their mouth, will definitely get stuck in their mouth. And they will swallow it. And then it gets stuck in their system. And then what you're dealing with there is something called impaction. And that can be very fatal. So what you want to do is you want loose dirt that you can easily reach in, pick up, and you can just kind of see if it falls through your fingers real easy, you know? If it can do something like that, it's usually safe, but watch your animal carefully. So no sand, no tiny, tiny pebbles. You do not want your gecko, your lizard, eating any of that and getting bad time. Another thing about enclosures, 20-gallon minimum for a full grown. Ladies in a 40-gallon right here. So they do not do well with smaller enclosures. It stresses them. And that's not good. You don't want to stress your animal. Another thing you do not do is forget to change their stuff. Leopard geckos are very good about using the bathroom in one spot. I use a vivarium, so the isopods and springtails are eating away a lot of the stuff in the waste over there in that corner. However, if you don't have a vivarium, they use the bathroom in the same spot. Please do not really try to go more than a week without picking up that mess. The fumes and bacteria in that waste can come back and actually hurt your lizard if they are around, you know, very old feces. She's testing out her new powder I put down for her. So that's a do thing, but we're going through do nots. Do not forget to refresh their calcium powder. Leopard geckos, as you can see, eat the powder from the dish, which is very, very healthy for them. And of course, dust and powder your bugs too. But those are just a few do nots with animals that I have seen. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or if you've heard something that you're unsure you should or should not do with your leopard gecko, please ask in the comments. I read and I respond to all animal-related questions. And I at least give hearts out to any kind of comments, even if there's like emojis and stuff. I love hearing from you guys. And if you have something that you want to know, I will, in my best of ways, intelligently and respectfully answer your questions. In my opinion, there's no such thing as anything too stupid. Obviously, if you're trying to be funny about it, yeah, then you're being stupid. But if you're asking in earnest a question that you think you might get made fun of, I will not do that. Everyone learns at the same time, or not at the same time, everyone learns at their own time. And something that I think is common knowledge may be something someone else has never heard before. So with Lady walking around here in her enclosure and everything, as you guys have probably hopefully learned some new things or been refreshed about things that you may have not been 100% sure on, I hope that you enjoyed this part of the video, all the video, and the bits that help out. You know, we want to get a positive vibe on animal care out there. And we want to make sure that every single creature is given their best chance, because these animals never chose to be where they're at. It just happened. It's to the point now where countries like the US have leopard geckos not native to its land being born here in captivity for pet trade. And what we want to do is we want to give them the best, you know? So hopefully this helps you do just that. Thank you guys so very much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. That means so much for this channel, so much for us. With that, y'all have a good one. Oh, and there's that tail, so she don't like that camera. I'm backing away, lady. I'm sorry. See, the camera's making her mad. Peace out.